GN, everybody. Insane seeing you here today. Huge shout out to every single one of you for pulling up and hanging out with us. Making a time in your calendar. Now, here's a thought. I think one could argue crypto kind of operated like one giant glass aquarium when every wallet move instantly exposed the whole internet to inspect. But one can also argue that that pendulum is swinging back. Now, the market finally starts realizing privacy rails matter for serious on-chain economies, say institutions, AI agents, gaming ecosystems here, private finance, what have you. None of that scales. Arguably, none of that scales properly with full public exposure. Now, Horizen pushes straight into that frontier, and today's call captures that shift. So, absolute banger lineup today. For those who are already not familiar, here Michael Patsko, our ecosystem lead, joining us with the ecosystem direction, strategy updates. Vladim for Tactizen, taking us into sovereign gaming economies, players actually shaping and governing the world itself through verifiable on-chain mechanics. Saif, soon to come, hopefully, exploring the privacy-first customer engagement without exposing user data. And of course, Anthony, marketing guru, co-pilot in the ship. He's also bringing some interesting news here with me today, keeping the vibe alive. Appreciate you, brother.
Of course. Very happy to be here. And for those who don't know, this is the first Horizen Discord community call. A big hat tip to Fredike for getting this underway. We've been doing these on the ZK Verify side, but excited to get you all in the mix on the Horizen side. So back over to you, Fredike.
And I must interject. It's pretty funny, Fredike. You're the only one using your real name here with the intros. Michael, me, Clive, Anthony, we got Soli one, Vlad and Trollolino, and we have Safe here already. That's on block. So you got to have like a spreadsheet to keep track of whose pseudonyms are here.
Yeah, that's how the crypto world works. So, yes. So, like I said, there's no theory crafting session today. So we're gonna show here talking real apps and what private on-chain experiences actually start looking like. Super hyped for this convo. Michael, Clive, pass the torch over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Fredike. Super pumped to get this series started. Thank you for spearheading this initiative and really filling this gap since you joined the team a few months ago on both Horizen and ZK Verify. We're grateful to have your coordination on these things. There's a lot that we've been cooking behind the scenes in the ecosystem, and I know a lot of this has been public, at least at a surface level. I think everybody well knows that our histories in privacy, our roots, and our vision remain in the on-chain privacy space. And there have been a lot of updates dropped over the last several months about ecosystem growth with some of the teams that we've backed through our partnership with Thrive Protocol, including Gata Rewards, who are joining us today, Zendex, Private Dex, Tachyon, Private Bridge, and a number of others. And the reality is it's taken longer for some of these privacy protocols and tools to materialize and come to mainnet than we would have expected. And as a builder myself, I've been an app designer and builder now for many years. You hate to excuse it as that's just part of the business, but what we do see is a reality is that building hard things, novel technology takes time, and it takes iteration, and it takes hardening and auditing and iteration. And we are starting to see the fruits of this labor now be realized. We have had Tachyon launch last week, the cross-chain private bridge solver network. They have a number of exciting business development opportunities happening behind the scenes. Zendex is coordinating with security auditors to get things ready for a public testnet phase. and then a second suite of auditing before moving into mainnet. And what we see with Tachyon, with Zendex, and a couple of other protocols that we're talking about right now is the creation of a core cluster of private on-chain finance apps on Horizen that we believe are going to really be the flag planters of the ecosystem that start to bring new holders and new participants into the Horizen ecosystem. We have a years old community, Zen holders, privacy advocates and enthusiasts, and the community is thirsty for applications to come to market that support the same privacy vision. And that's where Horizen is differentiating from a protocol, a coin such as Zcash, which of course is back in the headlines again as it's approaching all-time highs, at least recent cycle highs, as a privacy coin. And Horizen has a history that stems from Zcash, but made different moves years ago and even recently into the compliant privacy space with this thesis that privacy coins, private store value is valuable, but there's a lot of value to be found in private applications, and that holding money privately is valuable, but doing things with it privately, confidentially, is also just as valuable, if not more valuable. Token swaps, passive yield strategies, investments into agentic driven vaults. So there's a productive use of capital within a confidential environment, not simply holding it, whether that's as a hedge against inflation or whatever people want to have a private store of value for, valid use case, but building an application layer, a private execution layer on top of Base, where Horizen sits, is the core thesis for Horizen today. It's making privacy practical for advanced to professional on-chain actors, as most of us here are fairly advanced at this point, or we wouldn't be here, and ultimately moving into small funds and wealth managers that are either on-chain today, but limited in what they're doing because of the public blockchain conundrum, as well as other capital allocators that are not on-chain yet today because of that public blockchain conundrum. Once we can create the necessary blockchain primitives and usable protocols and applications, we believe that latent demand will unlock and find a home on Horizen as these privacy forward protocols and applications come to market, and do so in a very complementary way. That's one of my personal objectives and ways of operating, is to make sure that these core protocols coming to Horizen are also coordinating with one another so that there is smooth interoperability between these applications, so that participant in our ecosystem can have smooth operation between them. The last piece that I want to highlight here, which is not only complementary, but arguably at the core of our ecosystem thesis, is around Zen staking. And we've now been talking about the reemergence of Zen staking for a number of months. As has also been shared, part of the delay there was unfortunately a platform partner that we had identified has since shut down. So we're re-architecting things with some of their technology and some of the resources that Horizen Labs brings to the table. But we really see Zen staking as the core economic engine for Horizen and the tokenomic engine for the Zen token, where the core protocols and really every protocol and application in the Horizen network will be a contributor to the Zen staking rewards pool. This is not dilutive staking. It's not a race to zero as more and more tokens are emitted into the ecosystem. The core for any staking program like this to be successful is, what does the rewards situation look like? Why am I staking my tokens? And we aim to fuel that staking rewards pool with a number of pillars. First is the Zen token bootstrap that the DAO has voted to approve that will start that economic engine. Second is the sharing of LP rewards for the strategies deployed on Aerodrome that do generate a meaningful amount of returns. And that's DAO owned and foundation managed liquidity that will feed upside back into the staking rewards pool, as well as the contributing third-party protocols and apps on Horizen, like some that I've named, Zendex, Tachyon, and others. You may recall also that the Horizen Foundation owns and operates 2 ZK Verify validator nodes, and the VFY emissions from those nodes are also part of the staking rewards pool. So we scale with upside in our complementary partners at ZK Verify. And lastly, there's sequencer revenue that comes from operating as an L3. Today, with transaction volume still just beginning to spin up as these protocols go live, that's not a substantial amount of sequencer revenue, but in a high frequency success case, that also becomes upside that network participants can tap into by staking their Zen. So we're excited to be just cracking the door open on the possibility and opportunity that we've been building toward over the last several months. We appreciate the community's patience and partnership as all of this comes to fruition. And we will be sharing a lot of what I've just had to say here on Discord in more public ways soon to begin reintroducing ourselves to the market and not only catching the same privacy wave that is now emerging in our blockchain space, but really that being the next evolution of where we've always been as a privacy-rooted team and ecosystem. We're not in privacy because it's in vogue in 2026, but because the founders and the proponents of the technology here and the ecosystem here have been long believers in what we're doing, and it's exciting to see those efforts come to fruition. So hopefully not too long-winded, but I know there's a lot of interest and curiosity around what we've been doing behind the scenes. And I hope that starting to pull back the curtain here today is valuable and that this is the first in many efforts to continue sharing with everybody. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate the alpha, Michael. That definitely helps connect the dots between Horizen's long-term roadmap and where the ecosystem is heading next. Really appreciate it, the comprehensive outlook. For those in the audience, Emmanuel, Waka, happy to see you. Everyone in the audience, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll make sure to address them at the end of the session. I look forward to cover those. And now let's zoom directly into the application layer. Gaming feels like one of the wild frontiers for on-chain sovereignty right now. So Vlada, we're super happy to hear all about it. Vladan, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. So yeah, last year I had an idea to create a game for Zen, and to implement Zen to have NFTs that aren't just cosmetics, that actually provide in-game advantages, and also with the in-game economy that players themselves shape. And so far, Tactizen has almost 1,000 players, and in fact, the economy is shaped by players, and they can purchase NFTs or earn them in the game with achievements, with challenges, and so on. These NFTs are unique by the way they are created. So I haven't noticed anywhere else this sort of NFT structure that I've built. So there are tiers of NFTs going from quality 1 to quality 3, quality 5, sorry. And players can burn lower quality NFTs to reach the higher levels of NFTs that give higher advantages in the game. There is an in-game NFT marketplace, so players can trade between each other, and that can help some players earn Zen and some to get the NFTs, specifically the one they need for the upgrades. In the game, players can own companies, they can fight in battles, and they can become politicians and lead their countries. And there are several ways for players to earn gold, which they can exchange for Zen, and also other players that want these golds can also exchange Zen for the gold in game. And there have been many trades in the game between players, and the economy is shown to be working. Sorry, I'm not so elaborate English speaker, so excuse me if I'm trying to form larger sentences. So the in-game economy is working. Players produce products in companies, use them for wars, and also I have to mention there is politics in the game. Players can vote for who leads their countries, so they can vote for president, Congress members, and party leaders. This voting is done with privacy, so it uses currently ZK verifies blockchain, but as soon as EEE is available for rest of us developers, I plan to use that technology. So if you have any questions.
Yeah. Hey, Vlad, one question from my end. Why gaming? What is your background within gaming, and what brought you to wanting to build this game out?
So yeah, I had a game previously in the 2016 and 2017. Back then, it was similar game, but not really, because it was a classic Web 2 game with none of these technologies that are built inside now. So I wanted to create a new game that that players can log in and sign up using MetaMask or I will add their other wallets, of course. And of course, I had to add like a Gmail sign up for those that are scared to connect with MetaMask or something, and players can use both methods. Also, yeah, I wanted to create this NFT system with upgradable NFTs. So how do players get NFTs? At the moment, there are 12 types of NFTs that players can mint, and so they mint a random one each time when they mint, and they might get the NFTs they want, but they might not. So they can trade them with other players and exchange them for ones they need for upgrades. So total at the moment different NFTs in the games are around 70, and it's really hard to get the upgraded version tier 5 of some NFTs. So you have to trade with other players. It's not easy to just mint yourself.
Very cool. And just one last thing from my end. How can people find you? How can they start playing your game? Feel free to, push your X account or anything. Definitely want to push as many people to your game.
Okay. So the link to the game is tactizen.com. Notice the Zen in the game. Yeah, that's the official link to the game, and you can find Discord, Telegram, and Twitter account on the bottom.
Awesome. And I'll be sure to share the X account in the chat, and you'll be seeing them promoted on Zenrise in the coming weeks. And just a lot more opportunities to play Tactizen and check out all the great work Vlad and team are doing over there.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Vlad. I mean, I find this super interesting with Tactizen, this idea around players actually shaping and governing the world itself through verifiable on-chain mechanics. Now, I'm just curious, do you think crypto gaming, do you think this scenario is a niche within crypto gaming, or more of an evolution from the play the game default thing?
Well, if you make it simple for players to use crypto gaming, they will. So we had a lot of improvements compared to when we just started in January. Back then, it was more complicated to play, and I had to simplify or add tutorials and so on to make the players feel welcome to the game, and to keep them active in the game.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. Really cool. I mean, this idea, of the game economy is very, I think it's very trailblazing, so to speak. No longer relying on centralized operators to pull the invisible levers, behind the curtain. That's really great. Now, if I may, let's pivot from sovereign gaming economies into something millions of people already interact with daily, namely reward systems, loyalty programs, customer engagement, except this time with privacy rails baked directly to the stack, right? Saif, welcome. Passing the torch over to you.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me here to this first Discord, and for the introduction.
So this is your time to shine. Perhaps you could enlighten us on the interesting thing, how the interesting mode that Gata sits around proven engagement and rewards mathematically without exposing user behavior publicly and all that.
Yeah. All right, 100%. So I hope you guys can hear me well. I'm at a conference, but I've tried to find a little place for me. So can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me well?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. So as you said, Freddie, Gata is a customer engagement platform. But I do want to start by saying that what we have deployed and works on Horizen is probably 5 or 10% of what we intend to build. Now, what is available right now on Gata, on Horizen, is a rewards platform that crypto companies who have their tokens can run and engage with their users. The way it's different than other marketing campaigns, crypto platforms that a lot of you might already be aware of, are the two main aspects that we have incorporated. One is a trusted policy engine. What happens is when you create campaigns, you define a bunch of criteria, and those criteria could be something that is off-chain validated, or it can be on-chain validations can happen to that. And all those criteria are encoded into a rule engine or a policy engine that sits on a trusted execution environment. So once a campaign manager has created a criteria, even he can go and change the criteria. No one can change that criteria. That's number one about the policy engine. The second thing policy engine does is when user starts to participate in those campaigns, the policy engine makes sure that this user actually performed everything that the criteria needed. And then the policy engine finalizes the list of winners of that campaign or participants that participated in that campaign. So that's one aspect of the thing. So user, in this case, they are guaranteed that they will get the reward that was promised to them as part if they fulfill the criteria. And there is no way a campaign manager or a brand can rug pull and say, I got engagement, 5,000 people participated, but now I'm gonna just vanish out of the earth and not reward. That's not going to happen with Gata because they lock in the reward amount at the time of campaign creation, and the criteria fulfillment and on-chain validation happens that lets the rewards to be claimed by the user. So that's a key aspect of our product that is not available in other similar products. The second, privacy, is actually the user engagement and the rewards itself. So when user wants to claim the reward, they have this ability to claim rewards into different wallets. They just need to prove to the smart contract by creating a client-side zero-knowledge proof that they are the one who participated in the campaign, and so they are eligible to get the reward, but they can receive the reward in other wallets which are not connected with their on-chain activity. So that is how you bring privacy in terms of who gets the reward. Now, this solution is available on Horizen, and we will continue to promote this and allow multiple builders on Horizen to start using this platform and engage with their community in more than one ways. We have been expanding since our launch the number of campaigns that can be run and that can be viewed on our platform. We are this week working to have Zendesk and Reveal Markets DeFi criterias uploaded as well. So that will be live. Now, shifting a little bit from what we have to what we are building is the pivot to a real-world loyalty and engagement. Since you mentioned about millions of users, pretty much all of us have some loyalty points from brands we engage with, airlines, hotels, you name it. We all do. But there's one big problem there, which is we don't have always interact as much to collect as many points to actually redeem them. So you want to book a hotel, you don't have enough points. And as a result of this, I think in the United States in 2025, there is 30 billion plus US dollars worth of points that are stuck and no one uses it, right? That's one of the biggest problem that we are trying to solve by making those points liquid, enabling really a point swap mechanism to what you want to purchase. So that's one. The second biggest challenge in the loyalty industry right now is more than 50% of customers, they sign up to loyalty programs and they're out of that within 6 months. They no longer go back to them. Those are the two key challenges that we are working on. So as part of where I am right now in this conference, I'm talking to pizza makers. I'm talking to a company that does energy bar, piloting with them. They sell at Whole Foods here in the United States. We are working with a coffee chain, 200 plus location for a loyalty program. And eventually what is going to happen is all those transactions, sale transactions that they do, which are an event for minting loyalty points on chain, will be done on Horizen. And that is our goal as of now. So we are very close to that. We have a marketing team. I think I see Omar in the group here. He's working in Africa. And we have another person, marketing team in Mexico, that is working with real brands and talking to them, demoing them, and onboarding them. It's taking a bit of a time, but we are soon going to close on some letter of intent in the next week or two. So that is our plan. That's the second stage. The third stage that we're working on is the agentic e-commerce, completely out of these models, harnesses like ChatGPT and Claude. You can purchase or book hotels, really targeting tourism industry and others from your ChatGPT itself. So the pivot from a company perspective is we started from really Web3 campaigns and loyalty, moving on to real loyalty programs that company runs, to the agentic loyalty and agentic e-commerce in general. Like if my agent is able to spend loyalty points on chain, they would be able to spend and actually do checkouts for real commerce. So I don't need to rely on commerce agent. We will be building our own commerce agent to do that, and Stripe checkouts and things like that will happen there. That MVP is already built, and there's a video on YouTube for what the product does as of now in the MVP phase, and we are going ahead and pursuing funding rounds coming forward. So I'll stop there. I'll let you guys ask questions, but that's kind of like the whole 3-stage milestone that we are targeting at Gata.
That's awesome. One question for you. I feel like loyalty programs have always been a no-brainer to bring Web2 companies, Web2 audiences into Web3 relatively seamlessly. I know Starbucks a couple of years ago had their loyalty program. Yes. I think that kind of shut down. Yes. But what do you think has been the obstacle for making this actually work? Loyalty programs within Web3 and bridging that gap with Web2.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Starbucks did. I think Nike did a program, but they were both like really a trial program they ran. One of the bigger program that was run was by Mercado Libre, which is like Shopify in the Latin American world. They did it and they stopped it after that. In my opinion, the biggest challenge of doing that is, again, brand silos program. Users and customers, we all purchase from 100 different brands. We have 100 different needs. And so locking loyalty points into one brand is, I think, is something that is very archaic and old school. And we believe at Gata is loyalty is not just one brand thing. It's a shared value system, a shared layer that must be created. And when we are talking to brands and exposing them this thing, like I was talking to one lady here from Michigan, Grand Rapids. She run a fragrance store on Shopify. She's excited that if somebody can collect points somewhere else and spend because they don't want to purchase, they don't have the need, but can spend those points in my fragrance store because they need to buy that, that's new incoming customers for them. And it's not a loss of, the balance sheet, but it's actually new customer acquisition. So when you open this, we will open new customer acquisition for a lot of brands. They will bring loyalty points from other brands, which would be like 10 or 15% of the total sale amount. They're still going to pay 85% in dollars, and that is a new sale for them. So to me, I think opening up and making loyalty as a shared value layer, perfect fit for blockchains to do that, would be a game-changing system that will allow this to happen.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I think it's always interesting, these cycles within Web3. We're kind of seeing it now with NFTs. They kind of have like a second breath of fresh air, and maybe correcting some of the missteps from the first go around. I think it'd be really interesting to see how GATA can kind of capitalize on making loyalty programs work. So really excited to see you guys continue to build on Horizen, and thanks for answering my question.
Yeah, thank you. Good question, actually.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Saif. I have a knowing that you're in the trenches, I wonder, is privacy first a component that becomes a flex for the brands operating in GATA, or once users they start caring more about digital sovereignty or data ownership, or are these the notions of data ownership something that lays on the background and there's a learning curve when users start realizing and appreciating that with time? Now, since you mentioned criteria fulfillment and on-chain validation, et cetera, how's that play out?
No, again, I mean, okay, so working in privacy space, especially crypto privacy for the past 6 years, and understanding how a lot of Web2 companies handle privacy, understanding the huge gap that exists right now, especially with all the analytics that comes through in the name of personalization and the AI data hazard that it's going to bring. I would say it's challenging right now because to brand privacy as a business driver, the question we have to ask is whether privacy can drive your business. And I always say this, and I believe that, and this is one of my previous founder used to say, but it's like you have to go to a fast food chain to buy burger, and you got to get a smoothie on the side, and smoothie is the privacy. So it's like Apple. They're big on privacy. Everyone who loves privacy wants to buy Apple product, but then they're not just selling privacy, they're selling products. There is phones, there is laptops. So to us, we have to solve what the real customer needs are. And then if we can tie that up with a great level of privacy and not really be a parasite on their data and sell their data, then that's even like ethically wrong, but also from business perspective, data protection should happen. So my take is we will continue to provide the privacy user need. We will be big on privacy, but at the same time, we will be branding and showcasing the real user needs that we are solving. That's what my stance are.
Thank you so much for the comprehensive reply. Yeah, very interesting indeed. How that dynamic unfolds. As adoption increases. Anthony, unless I miss my guess, you got news for us?
Yeah, before we switch over to me, Saif, if you just want to let people know where they could check out GATA if they, want to use a platform where they could follow you on X, that'd be a nice little plug for you.
100%. So app.gata.io is where you can run campaigns on Horizen. So if you're a builder, you're looking for customer engagement, I didn't mention one thing, but since this is my time, we have communities in different parts of the world that we work with, and we can leverage repeat rewards farmers. Those are the big things that we look at. So get you real users from different parts of the world. You can run on app.gata.io. If you go to agent.gata.io, that's where our agentic MVP lies there right now. But obviously, it's not too much you can do there. You can watch the demo. Also, Gata_rewards is our X platform. And, safe at gata.io, reach out to me. I'm happy to work with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was a really good conversation.
Thank you.
A couple things from my side, housekeeping items. We did have a Zenrise task go live right at 12 p.m. Eastern, so that task is already live. And if you tuned in to the X Space we had yesterday with Tachyon, we're doing something similar. This is the second community code for Horizen. That community code is Horizen DCC 2026. So Horizen DCC for Discord community call to 2026. This will be recorded, so if you missed it live, you can go back and get the community code. But again, that task is live on Zenrise. Then the last thing from my end is we are here at Horizen Labs putting together an AI agent trading competition. Yes, you heard that right. If you are building AI agents, if you're interested in building AI agents and you're interested in trading, seeing how good you can trade Zen VFY and see if you could come out number one on the leaderboard. I will be dropping an interest form in this chat towards the end of this conversation, but there's also a post on X that links to the interest form. Fill it out. We will be able to help you set up an AI agent if you're interested in the competition. There may or may not be rewards tied to it, but it's a good opportunity to test out your AI agent building skills and trading skills. So more to come there. And with that, I'll kick it back over to you, Frederica.
Thank you so much. Yeah, looking forward to hear all about the trading competition. There's been some bubbling up on the ZK's Verify server about it already. And before we wrap it up, I mean, I do want to mind some of the questions that popping on the chat. PEVM says, by the way, will be possible to migrate NFTs from Horizen to Base. Now, unless I'm mistaken, please, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong. You can migrate NFTs from Horizen to Eon on Base through the bridge infra, or you can alternatively burn and mint flow, since both run on EVM rails. Is that correct, Michael?
We'd want to look more into the implementation on that. And no more Eon. Eon is long deprecated, but there's some stuff out there. There's like an ONFT standard omni-chain non-fungible token, kind of similar to how there are OFTs like Zen is on the L3 with layer 0 tech. There could be burn and mint, but there's not native interoperability of NFTs between chains. That would have to be an intentionally designed and implemented solution.
Oh, appreciate the feedback, Michael. The second question I'm seeing here, Amar, what's the difference between super, mega, and ultra? You possibly refers to the different categories of rewards in Zenrise. Basically, mega and super, mega, and ultra, they differ in association to the task complexity. So for the simple tasks, usually reward super points, For a task that requires some interaction, like quizzes, feedbacks, we award a mega, and for more complex on-chain tasks, we often reward ultra. Hope that answers your question. And let me see, there's anyone else? Gushon requests us to speak, but he just left the stage. So yeah, hope that answers your question, Amar. Nothing else on my end. Again, feel
Awesome.
free.
But one more thing before you wrap up, just want to give a heads up to the community. We're obviously working very closely with Thrive Protocol. These projects we had on stage today are part of the Thrive grant program, and they're building some really cool things on Horizen. So in the coming weeks, you'll see more X spaces, more opportunities through these Discord community calls to learn more about what these projects are bringing to the Horizen ecosystem. So if you're a builder, you want to learn more, definitely keep up to date with our X accounts, join the Discord. Frederique is a huge resource within the community. But again, just want to give a shout out to all the work he's done and helping stand these Discord calls up, because they really bring the community together. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And I don't want to miss Nitroxide, who's, by the way, very active in our marketing channel. Any updates on Zendex? Perhaps Clive is more prepared to answer that. Is Clive on the...
I'm here, sure. Zendex is coordinating with their auditing firm, Hacken, to tie up loose ends from that audit. So those fixes are being made right now and will be reviewed again by Hacken in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Hoping, of course, for the cleanest possible bill of health. The Zendex team is super serious about security, as we are, and we're likely to have a complete second layer of independent security auditing to follow. So I know we had aimed for a public testnet phase of Zendex in May. It looks quite likely like that will now occur in June. So they are going through all the steps to get things ship shape, and just need more, more development hours to basically get that executed, signed off on, double checked, deployed, and really be methodical about things. So believe me, I'm as anxious for that availability as anybody, and great partner in the founder there who's, again, very security minded and privacy ethos aligned with us. And we're going to be supportive every step of the way. And that is just going to take a little bit more time in the kitchen to have its finishing touches put on.
Thank you, Mike. Nitroxide, hope that covers your question. Again, thank you so much for your participation, your active participation in the market and trading channel. And that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you so much for making the time. And we look forward to the next one. You've, like Anthony said, this is being recorded. We'll share a recording and the summary soon. So stay tuned for that. And thanks again for coming.